I actually think he's made his mind up. I think he's got something lined up.
I always thought he was going to leave at the end of the season.
Yeah, at the end of this year, I think there's 2 more years left of him. Maybe not exactly the same qualities as we're getting at the moment, but you would want him in your team.
You think he's already made up his mind?
I think he's made his mind up, yeah. I mean, he's been that good in his time at Liverpool. Anyone would take.
A lot post-match to consider, not least Mo Salah. At 32, is Liverpool's Mo Salah getting better with age? And then when he was speaking on Sky Sports, that contract chat came up.
Honestly, I had a good summer. I had a long time to just to stay with myself and try to think positive, because as you know, this is my last year in the club. I just want to enjoy it and just I don't want to think about it, but just like I feel I'm free to play football, and we'll see what's going to happen next year.
And if this is your last season, as you say, this could be your last time ever playing here.
Yeah, to be fair, I was coming to the game. I said, look, it could be a last time. Nobody in the club talked to me yet about contracts, so I just okay, I played my last season and see it in the end of the season.
As soon as Salah mentioned contract, Graeme, you looked at me there as if, yeah, he's chosen the moment, hasn't he?
Yeah, or did it slip out? I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he's from Egypt. He's I would imagine had several offers to go to Saudi. I'm sure he's got more money than he will ever need, but the chance of going to Saudi and filling his pockets with untold wealth may be really attractive to him. And he's going to go somewhere where he speaks his mother tongue. I'm sure he's very happy in Liverpool, and there's no getting away from it. You know, he is absolutely on fire. He's been a great player for them.
You know this club though, Graeme. Are you surprised that it would seem they haven't gone to him yet?
That would surprise me. I mean, because he's such an integral part of the team, and he's a go-to man for goals in the tight games. But at 32, and you know, age is just a number. Okay, it used to be players struggled at 32, and then it's gone to sort of 34 to 35. I mean, I get it. If you're a big football club, you don't want to dish out a lengthy contract to someone at 34, take them up to 36. I get that, but I think at 32, you look at Mo Salah, and when you see him take his top off him, he's completely ripped. You can imagine he more than looks after himself in every aspect of being a professional footballer. So the next 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe, definitely 2 years. I think you've got. I would imagine there's life in him. You'll get another Mo Salah, what you've got now for the next 2 years beyond this year. That's how I see him.
I'm 67. I'm keeping my top on this morning. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Simon, what do you think? Are you surprised that Liverpool seemingly have not gone to him and his representatives?
They may well have done. And it may well be on him.
Would Salah not know?
What is it? I don't think it's his obligation to tell the media, though, is it? I mean, I
would be slipped out, or he was being.
I think it's a statement of facts. I think he's got 1 year left on his contract.
No, but he said this is my last year.
Well, it is his last year. By the very nature of the fact is he hasn't got a new contract in front of him, and he may not be prepared. And he also went on to say, "We'll see what happens." So we'll see what happens. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I'd be surprised.
He did say nobody's talked to me from the club, but we'll see.
You've got to factor in he's not speaking his mother tongue. I know his English is very good, but he's not speaking, and that may just have slipped out. He may have already made his mind up. I actually think he's made his mind up. I think he's got something lined up.
I always thought he was going to leave at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think looking at that, I think that came out not the way he wanted it, because I think he tried to recover from it further in the interview on Sky yesterday.
So you think he's already planned on leaving? Yeah,
and that would be the clever thing. So you've got to factor in his family as well. His wife might want to go to Saudi Arabia. He might want to take his kids back to an Arab-speaking country. These are things we can't answer.
It certainly seems significant, Simon, that he chose that moment yesterday, post-match. Nobody has talked to me from the club, but we'll see. It's almost an invitation, so, like, when are you going to?
I don't know what it is. I mean, ultimately, I'm assuming that his representation will have had conversations. Whether he had a direct conversation is a different matter. And people can play on words. I always assumed that he would go to Saudi Arabia. I mean, the one thing about Mo Salah that you don't really need to factor in is more often than not you get a resistance on transfer fees and salary as well, because of the nature of what he will mean to that region, because of the nature of the talent that you're talking about. They could do both. They could pay Liverpool a fortune for him and also pay a fortune in salaries. But the point I'm making is he doesn't need to wait to run down his contract to be able to get all that money in his contract, because he'll get it either which way. So I look at it and say there's eventually going to be a time that Liverpool move on post-Salah. Now, whether that's this year or whether it's another year, Liverpool as a football club will continue to evolve and will continue to be successful. And Salah is the story right now. And what he is, to me, he's making people like me, specifically me, eat the words that I said earlier.
They just signed Chiesa, haven't they?
Huh?
That's where Chiesa plays, isn't it? Wide on the right. The Italian have just signed.
Yeah. But
So,
he's not, at this moment in time on paper, he's no Mo Salah, is he?
I mean, Graeme, you're a former captain, you're a former manager, you're a massive Liverpool fan. If you're put on the spot about Salah, would you hope he stays beyond this year?
I would. I've just stated, I think at the end of this year, I think there's 2 more years left of him. Maybe not exactly the same qualities as we're getting at the moment, but you would want him in your team.
I think he's already made up his mind?
I think he's made his mind up, yeah. I'm trying to read between the lines and second guess it, but I think there's more to it. It's not just about Mo Salah and signing for Liverpool. I think there's other factors like his family. I
mean, he slotted a lot in his mind, not least how well they played, but he wouldn't be drawn in it.
It's a lot of if, but at this moment he's one of ours, and I'm really, really happy with him being one of ours, and he plays really well. So I don't talk about contracts from players, but I can talk for hours about how Mo played today. But are you interested in that?
I tell you what, Simon, now that Graham's flagged that up, that he may be thinking that he's out at the end of the season, he's gone at the end of the season. I mean, for Slot to say at this moment he's a Liverpool, yes, again, a statement of fact, but
that's all he can say.
That's all he can say. What else can he say? I don't know what else he can say. He can do the dance of the 7 veils to give people content, or he can just turn around and say that what's in front of his eyes, which is at this moment in time. And football changes quickly. It
would be nigh on impossible for him not to have had offers from the big guys in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe would Real Madrid take him for a couple of years? I mean, that's not an area they need to strengthen. But I mean, he's been that good in his time at Liverpool. Anyone would take him.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.